Great. Well done for joining me this week and practicing every day. Let's take a Kesh Mudra for space. And as we touch our middle finger and thumb together, all the other fingers outstretched like a lotus flower. And as you take your hands to your thighs, in any seated posture that's most comfortable for you, softening your shoulders back and down and starting to breathe through with spaciousness of your breath, inviting fresh space for your organs and to swell up your lungs, expanding with an inhale, exhale, softening and letting go of any tension as you release from the space of your body. Your breath, always this amazing, balancing, nurturing energy of our life force, of our constant circle within. And as we tune into our breath, closing your eyes and noticing through your body, just scanning down, asking the whole of your body to arrive in a sense of appreciation, of gratitude, of thriving energy inside yourself, this wellspring of thriving energy that you always have with every breath, every new opportunity to choose your own energy. And as we breathe with balance, balancing and releasing any energy that needs to be released, maybe with a sigh, and perhaps you sigh a few times to just allow yourself to drop deeply into your body. And let's stay here for a few more minutes in a meditation, expanding our lungs and our heart and whole of our energy with thriving energy, with thriving abundance that's always inside of us and around us in nature. Nature teaches us this, that we can transform and listen to our body when we need stillness, when we need rest, and to move with what our body is allowing us to listen to ourselves when we connect and when we tune in, moving and being from this space of thriving with our body, our heart and our mind. And maybe some days we need to rest and stop. Maybe we listen even longer and we wait for a day when we feel that we want to be in more of a outgoing, passionate energy. And just allowing yourself to be fully in your truth, in your thriving energy, in your own unique listening of what's right for you. And when we come to our yoga practice, that is really great when we listen and we don't push too much, or some days we're stronger and we do more active asana practice. Some days we rest and just breathe and notice. And all is thriving energy as we acknowledge our truth and we appreciate ourselves, our body, our heart and our mind. And this appreciation then can easily flow out to all with ease. I read a few prayers from a lovely book Janet sent me by Tosha Silver called Change Me Prayers. Thank you, Janet. And the first one, Divine Guidance. Divine Beloved, may I feel safe and guided by your love. Take over my body and mind. Show me the way. Guide me always to the right actions at the right time. May I always feel immersed in your love, protected from fear and negativity. Divine beloved, let me only wish what you wish for me. May I see myself as you see me. Let me know my own divinity in every moment. May I know I am you, and may I desire to be as one with you. May the highest that is meant to happen, happen in me and through me. May I be a vehicle for you. Change me into one who can breathe, relax, and rest in your arms. And as you rest in your own body, welcoming this thriving energy inside of you to spring and fountain through you. You can imagine from your pelvis, your pelvic bowl, a fountain of thriving, golden abundance. And this moving all the way through you as it shoots up through all of your system and out of your crown and around you, showering with radiance. And imagining a big circular energy that rises from the ground, from your root, the base of your tailbone, and rises all the way up through you, through your crown, all the way around you, and then back down to the earth, up through your root, up through the whole of your body, and all the way around. This torus energy moving up through the center and then cascading all the way around you back to the earth. Breathing with this, with an inhale, filling up, and an exhale, emptying out. Let's practice golden square breath. So maybe changing the cross of your legs or how you are seated, maybe kneeling or the legs outstretched in front. You can keep your mudra with the thumb and middle finger touching for Akash mudra, space mudra. And this mudra coincides with your throat chakra, which also has the element of space, ether. As you close your eyes, let's breathe deep. And for the count of 4, golden square breath involves us inhaling for 4, holding the breath in for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding the breath out for 4. Inhaling for 4, holding the breath in, sealing this in. Breathing out for 4, and holding the breath out for 4. Feeling into emptiness. Breathing in for 4 and possibly imagining from your left hip to left shoulder. Sealing the breath in for 4 across your shoulders, your collarbones, your hearts, and all the cells within you. Breathing out for 4 from your right shoulder to right hip. And holding the breath out for 4 across your pelvis, drawing lower belly in. Reversing the square to inhale from your right hip to right shoulder for 4. Sealing the breath in for 4 at the top, across your heart, your lungs, through your cells. Breathing out for 4 from left shoulder to left hip. And holding the breath out in emptiness. Taking one more round in your own way, and you can imagine the square around you, in front of you, below you. And the square coincides with our root chakra, Muladhara. That is a symbol symbolized by the square. And the square is a symbol of the void, of Shiva energy, of creation. As a circle is also a symbol of creation and relates to Shakti, Shiva the masculine, Shakti the feminine, both joined together to create life. Returning to your own natural breath with the circle of your breath, noticing the sound of your breath, Ujjayi breath, as you slightly close the back of your throat and breathe through your nostrils. Anytime you need, you can sigh out as well. Let's start to move. So either crossing your legs the opposite way again or coming to a cross-legged position, please. Move any glute flesh, any thigh flesh to the sides and sit lifted from your sit bones up to the crown of your head. With an inhale, let's reach our hands up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms of the hands up and just stretch up. Feel into the length of your spine, both sides of the rib cage. As you breathe with a big inhale, feel the back of the body, please. And exhale, softening as you stretch out and inviting thriving energy with every breath, every movement. As you exhale, lower your hands down and let's turn to our opposite side for a twist, opposite hand to knee. Just turning that way, easing back the shoulder and the rib cage, breathing through the back of the body again. We now take the hand that's behind you, lift that up overhead, and we'll reach it up overhead with this other hand opposite knee. Feel into the side stretch, softening your face, your jaw, your shoulder. Now let's move this hand into the twist at the back again with an inhale, just reach it back, looking back behind you. As you exhale, sweep it over your head, again into the arch. Twice more, inhale to reach behind you, and exhale, sweeping overhead to center. One more time, inhale to lengthen through your spine as you twist, and exhale, softening. I know it's strong as well. Taking the upper hand down to the opposite knee, we cross our arms over, soften your shoulders, your neck and your jaw, and feel into the neck muscles linking to the shoulder blades, your trapezius muscles, softening down through this kite of your upper back, down through your spine and softening through. Now lifting yourself up, keeping the arms crossed, and we give ourselves a hug. And then let's come into eagle arms with our hands. So maybe the backs of the hands are facing each other, or you can take the palms together or hands to your shoulders if that is a bit hard with your hands in front of you. With an inhale, lift your elbows up. As you exhale, rounding down to the earth. Inhale to lift up again, feeling into your heart lifted. Exhale to ground in during lower belly into hollow. Inhale to lift up again, lengthening and looking up. And exhale one more time as you bow in. Feel the shoulders stretch, easing your neck, softening your jaw. Inhale to lift up. Let's open our arms wide to the sides, reach them up to the top again, and then go to the opposite side and with that twist that we first did, opposite hand to knee, as you gaze round over your back shoulder, softening your shoulder back and turning, easing through the rib cage, softening your jaw, maybe having a sigh, feeling from the hips in this rotation across your rib cage to your shoulders. Great, with an inhale, sweep the back arm up and over your head in a big arch. We'll stay here for a moment, enjoying the stretch, noticing the difference on this side. Your next inhale, take that hand behind you as we start to move with the stretch. Exhale, take the hand overhead as you gaze down into center. Inhale to look around, taking the hand around to the back space. Exhale, sweep the arm overhead again. One more time. Inhale, lengthening as you turn and twist. And exhale, hand overhead in that big arch. You can drop the hand down to opposite knee and then come into a center point, bowing in. Feel your neck stretch, shoulders. If it's different on this side, it most probably is. Feels quite different for me. And then slowly lifting your body, keeping your arms crossed. Let's give ourselves a hug again. Maybe looking down, softening your face and your jaw, pressing to the earth. Keeping the arms crossed, lifting your gaze up and eagle arms. Again, your own choice, maybe hands to the shoulders. And notice this side. As you inhale, lift the elbows, looking up. As you exhale, folding in, feeling into your core. Inhale to rise. And exhale, softening as you draw into your center. One more time. Inhale to lift up and lengthen from your feet to the top. Exhale, rounding in, drawing lower belly to spine. Inhale, lift up. Let's open our arms wide to the sides. And exhale, take your hands up to the top, press the palms together, draw lower belly in as you take your hands to your hearts. We can close our eyes and set our intention. And maybe this starts with I am and a positive, thriving word as an affirmation for you. And if you were to activate, to acknowledge your own Sankalpa, your heart's prayer, as a mission statement, like a sentence that you could really celebrate about yourself with thriving energy, what would this be? And as you sit with this mission statement, your Sankalpa, your anchor, if you were to imagine a symbol, what would the symbol look like for your own heart's purpose, your own heart's path? And whatever comes to mind, just go with that and smile with thanks within your own symbol. Maybe you can draw that or journal with that later on. Great, let's come to some movement again. Taking our left foot behind the left knee, so you fold that backwards, and the right shin is forward to the front of the mat, please. Get comfy, it can be a bit hard on your left hip, and noticing that, just feeling that. Maybe you have a cushion underneath your hips to feel a bit more comfortable if you need to. Rocking Mermaid, it's really great for any SI sciatica problems and lower back issues, and to stabilize our pelvis with balance. Hands to knees, and we simply do cat-cow with an inhale, lifting up. As you exhale, rolling through your spine and arching as you look down, drawing lower belly in. Inhale to lift up again, soften shoulders back. Exhale to round, drawing the lower belly in. Keeping that going, 3 more big breaths, moving with your own rhythm. And noticing the front of the left thigh, the hip that will be stretched, and maybe talking to you if it's a bit tight. 1 more big breath with an inhale to rise like a wave through you, and an exhale the wave over you in Rocking Mermaid. Inhale to the top. Let's lift our hands up again, reaching them high, and then turn to your right, left hand to right knee, so opposite hand to knee again. We look over that back shoulder, turning into the twist, feeling into this left front of thigh and hip, and lift the hip a little bit further forwards, so you're encouraging the stretch. Now it may be a bit of an intense stretch, and let's ease that through. As you exhale, looking down, taking the left hip back towards the ground if that's possible. And inhale, lift the left hip away, further forward, looking round into the twist. Exhale, take it down, looking to your pelvis. And inhale, looking round into the twist, drawing the hip forward. 1 more time, exhale down. Inhale, lifting up with a wave around you as a beautiful mermaid. Coming back to a center point, but keeping that left hand to right knee. Let's lift the right hand up and over again. So we encourage that kind of twisted opposite hand to knee form that we just did. And then maybe try to just lean a little bit further over to the left to encourage the stretch, not too much. Just one more breath into a lean. Great, exhale, take the right hand down towards the right again. And this time we lower both hands shoulder width apart, bowing down. We'll take 3 bows with an inhale, lift up, feel the left thigh. Exhale to bow in. Inhale to rise up. And exhale to bow in. One more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Dropping down for an extra breath, maybe onto your forearms, breathing out the tension. As we allow our soul muscle, our psoas, the front of our hip, to stretch out, really helps ease any tension within us. Any holding we can let go of. Great, let's come up to the top space and carefully move this left foot forward. Going to shake out both your legs if you want to, shaking them out. Maybe patting them down. We go to the other side, crossing your left shin to the front of the mat and the right foot steps behind the right knee to fold that backwards. Again, finding a comfy position where maybe move your hips, maybe cushion underneath. Noticing the difference on this side, as both sides will be quite different for all of us. As you notice your right thigh and the right front hip, maybe the hips lower this side or maybe it's lifted, just noticing with awareness. Taking hands to knee, cat-cow again for 5 breaths with an inhale, lifting, softening shoulders back. As you exhale, rounding during lower belly. Inhale to rise, soften shoulders, and exhale to round during lower belly. Feeling the rocking from your pelvis, from the hips and your pelvic bowl, around the pelvic bowl, front and the back. Each breath with its wellspring, fountaining, abundant energy, thriving, and also releasing. Inhale to rise up to the top. Let's now cross our opposite hand to knee and go into that twist. So you ease that back shoulder. Maybe you're lifting this right hip forward a bit over the floor to encourage the hip forward and the stretch through the front of the thigh and the psoas again. Looking round for one more breath with an inhale. And as we exhale, let's round, looking to center. Keep opposite hand to knee and the hand behind you. Inhale, look round into the twist over our left shoulder, easing back that shoulder. Exhale, round to center again, looking down towards your pelvis. And inhale, lifting, moving that right hip forward as you twist. Twice more, breathing deep, feeling into the tilting, the rocking, the waveform through you. And once more, as you exhale in, and inhale to lengthen, twisting round. Inhale to a center point, reaching our left hand up and overhead now, keeping the right hand to opposite knee as before. One more breath with an inhale, reaching up, joining the sensations of the stretch. Now exhale, softening as you lean a bit further over to the right. Inhale, lift the hand up and take it over to the left side now. Both hands shoulder width apart as you turn to the left side, feeling that right hip forward and stretching through the thigh. With an inhale, lifting up. As you exhale, bow in. Inhale to rise. And an exhale to bow. Once more, inhale to lift up and lengthen. Exhale to bow in, and now moving down a little bit lower for one more breath, noticing this side, breathing out the tension, letting it drop to the ground. You can release and encourage thriving energy to rejuvenate. Lifting up to center, and then let's stretch our legs out in front again, give them a shimmy, a shake, shake it all out, and pat down if you like. Great, let's take the soles of our feet together, then moving the feet a bit forward into a diamond shape, Tadasana Star Seed, as we take our hands around our shins underneath the calves and nestle the shoulders back. Maybe you move your hips a little bit further backwards if that's possible, and notice from the sit bones lengthening through your spine to your shoulders. The sit bones are the points of contact to the floor from your hips and the pelvis. And as you lengthen forwards through your spine, lifting your heart, your gaze to the toes or beyond the toes. So we're not looking and really dropping our head down too much. We're just looking forwards with a long spine, lengthening through each vertebra and the sections of the spine. One more breath. And then as you inhale, rising up to center. Let's take it onto our hands and our knees, please, briefly, for a moment. And once we're on our hands and knees, maybe swaying from side to side again, maybe making a circle round to ease and massage. Feel your wrists, your hands, and the connection as you root down. Noticing the fingers spread, the pads of the hands pressing down in the center of your palm, Hasta Bandha, like yesterday again. Feeling into the circle, spiral energy through you. And then coming to a still point. Let's now rotate the torso around as if you were circling the rib cage from one side to the other. So really feeling into making the circle as big as possible, as emphasized as possible, all the way around from the side that you start, easing the circle around to the opposite side that you end. Let's reverse the circle to the other way now. Really feeling around your rib cage and from each shoulder to each hip. As you slow it down, perhaps really noticing and being curious about the muscles, the side of the body, and the rib cage. One more breath. Great, with an inhale, let's lift our right hand up to the top. As you exhale, thread it underneath to the left, just hovering it across the ground. Inhale, lift it up, turning to the right again, to the sky. Exhale, thread it under to the left, hovering. And one more time. This time we'll drop down to our thread the needle with an inhale to rise, looking up to the top fingers. And then exhale, threading it underneath, dropping onto the right shoulder. Taking the left hand above the head, you can just keep the left hand there, stretching out. Maybe you lift the palm away from the ground and in your fingertips. Or maybe you can wrap the left arm around the back to rest on the back hip and the thigh. One more breath. And if you want to make it a bit harder, this posture has some different options with your left leg, stretching it back, pressing the heel away. And maybe the leg can be lifted in the air, but there's no pressure, just enjoy what's right for you. Inhale, coming back up to center, both hands equal and shoulder width apart again. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Exhale, thread it under to the right, hovering it again, looking to the right. Inhale to lift high again, looking to the left thumb. Exhale, under, easing, softening. One more time. Inhale to rise, twisting through the left rib cage. And exhale, taking this left arm all the way under to the ground, softening through, feeling into the left rib cage with the right arm overhead, with a stretch through the right shoulder and the right rib cage. And again, either staying with this first Nice ease, easing to the ground, or choosing what's right for you as you wrap the arm around the back to the left hip and thigh. Maybe staying there and just easing through, softening fully. Breathing deep. Maybe for the last breath, you step the foot behind, activating that leg, the right foot, and lifting the leg up and into the air if possible, feeling into the strength. Great, let's come back to center. Take it to down dog, please. When you're ready, tucking toes under. You can hover the knees off the ground, floating tabletop. Engage your shoulders, your core, lifting the hips back and up for down dog as you pedal out. One heel presses down and the other knee bends, and we go from side to side. Feeling into hands to feet, lengthening through the spine, drawing shoulders away from the ears, softening your jaw, maybe having a sigh. And then let's check our length in down dog, which will be the same hand placement, foot placement as plank. So moving forward to plank, you can take your knees down if you need to, but first of all, just check that your feet are further back so that you have a long line and your hips are lifted. They're not dropping down to the ground. You're lifting up through your pelvis to stabilize your lower back and help your core and spine. Let's lower our knees to the ground and lower all the way down to the ground. Let's take our elbows under shoulders for Sphinx pose. Wiggle onto the front of the thighs and notice the front of the feet, toes pressing to the mat. With an inhale, looking forwards. As you exhale, just bow in, softening your neck, keeping your hips and thighs to the ground. Inhale to lift up again, lengthening through. Feel the glutes active, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to bow in, softening shoulders and neck. Maybe you have a sway with your chin down towards your chest and you just sway from side to side for a breath. And then coming up, maybe you sway the chin to shoulder and then opposite shoulder to the other side for a few breaths. Great, we're now going to practice the Sphinx to Child's pose, like a roll, a wave through our body, developing strength as well. As you exhale, take the hips back to the heels, but you maybe need to move your knees up the mat a bit for Child's pose. And then as you inhale, moving back again to Sphinx, taking the feet back. Maybe you're momentarily in a forearm plank before you drop the hips down and looking up. With an inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, feel your core, walk your knees forward and your hips back to your heels as you soften for a breath. And then looking forward, take the feet back. Maybe you're in plank for a moment, activating the shoulders as you lower down to Sphinx, lifting your gaze forward. One more time, exhale, lifting the hips, feel the core, walk the knees forward. Take the hips back to the heels for Child's pose, softening through. Inhale, looking forwards, take the feet back, activate the legs, the hips are level with the shoulders if you're in forearm plank, lowering down slowly, well done, and looking forwards, lengthening through from toes to crown. Let's lower slightly to take our hands under our shoulders, draw the shoulders back away from the ears, draw the elbows in, and just stay here for a moment. Feel the activation that you need in your efficient way of your shoulders engaged, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other slightly and down away from the ears. We'll do 3 mini press-ups like this with our pelvis and hips down to the ground like a little mini cobra press-up. Inhale, lift up slightly, feel the upper arms. Exhale, lowering down. Twice more. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Once more. Feel the legs active, toes pressing down. As you exhale, lowering. This time pressing the ground away, hands into shoulders, hips back to your heels for Child's pose, please. And stretching through your hands, your arms in your own way. Once again, choosing what's right for you. Maybe a sway to ease that out. We'll now practice some cobra waves. So let's take our hands shoulder width apart forward. Ease the hips forward and then lengthen through from the toes to your heart and the crown of your head. Exhale, take the hips back to child's pose. Softening. Inhale, take your gaze low to the ground, forwards. Activate your upper arms as you move the heart through and lengthen through into a high cobra. Once more, exhale, take the hips back to the heels. And inhale, forwards, low to the ground. Feel the upper arms lifting through. Well done, everyone. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift up to downward facing dog again, please, and let's pedal it out. Then walking the hands back to the feet, walking all the way back to the back of the mat. Bending our knees as we softly forward fold. Hands can be swaying or floating down. Maybe you take opposite hand to forearm. Maybe you're taking the forearms behind your calves and you're holding on to them that way. Maybe you're rocking forwards and back to just notice the weight tilt of your legs, your pelvis. Lifting your shoulders lightly away from your ears, please. Softening your jaw and your face. And drawing up through your lower belly. Finding that balance point between your toes and your heels for a moment and sway it out, maybe shaking your head yes and no lightly as well. Maybe a sigh as you open your jaw wide and open the jaw side to side. One more breath as we just dangle, let everything drop to the ground. And with an inhale, letting go. As you rise up with a full breath, maybe the hands come to the sides or you just roll up through your spine. Lifting the hands overhead when you're ready, pressing the palms together and taking this prayer to our hearts. Closing our eyes for a moment, just feel through your body, equalizing the weight, the effort and the ease. Moving with steadiness and ease from the first sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. The description of yoga is Yogasana Stira Sukham, which means yoga is practiced with ease and steadiness. So let's start our practice with 3 pranams, 3 prostrations, prayers to the earth. We take our feet to the back of the mat, feet hip distance apart and parallel, and hands facing forwards into Tadasana. Looking forward, softening shoulders, leveling them, feeling into a soft gaze. As we move with this prayer to the earth and the prayer through our body and the earth element and the elements of earth, water, fire, air and space in balance. Then inhale, lift the hands up overhead, reaching tall. Exhale, bowing forward, soft bend of the knees as you lower. Inhale, walk the hands forward all the way. You can take your knees down if you need to in plank and get comfy. Activate the body, press the heels back. Exhale, let's bow all the way down to the ground. So knees, chest, chin, elbows in as you lower all the way down. Hands overhead for full body prayer, pressing the palms together. Have a sigh and feel your belly, your heart on the earth, connected. Taking the hands under your shoulders, we activate the shoulders away from the ears again, draw the elbows in, press yourself back and up to child's pose, hips back to your heels, and then up to downward facing dog. Moving as a prayer, sighing out if you need to. Inhale here. Exhale, let's take the hands back to the feet, walking them all the way to the back of the mat again. Inhale, lift up halfway, looking forwards, lengthen your heart. Exhale, bow it in, draw up through your core and shoulders away from the ears again, drawing them up. Inhale, reach the hands up overhead, big wings lifting up to the top in standing, and exhale, hands to your hearts. Have a sigh, grounding down, noticing your weight again, moving as a prayer with thriving energy connected to the earth and the 5 elements. With an inhale, sweep the hands up overhead, reaching tall. As you exhale, bow it in, bending knees, soften. Inhale, looking forwards, walk the hands forwards all the way to plank. Knees can be down to help you get comfy, ignite the body, charging, press to the heels. Exhale, lowering through your press up all the way down to the ground, elbows in. Take the hands overhead, full body pranam prayer. As you sigh it out, feeling into your body, releasing the ground, holding you, the earth supporting you. Taking your hands under shoulders, draw the elbows in, activate the shoulders back, away from your ears, towards each other again, feeling that engagement. Press the ground away into your child's pose, please. As you lengthen through and soften, maybe sighing. Inhale, come up to downward facing dog as you stretch it out for a breath. Have a sigh. Walking the hands back to the feet as you exhale, draw lower belly in. Inhale, reach the heart forward, come up halfway to a flat back. Exhale, fold it in again, drawing up through lower belly and your shoulders lifted away from your ears. Inhale, sweep the arms wide up to the sky. Welcoming this thriving energy, and exhale, hands to your heart. Thanking all, grounding to your feet, softening your shoulders, honoring with thanks to the earth once more. Inhale, rising the hands up overhead, lifting. Exhale, bowing as you soften, drawing lower belly in. Inhale to walk the hands forward again in your own way, charging in your plank. Feel the shoulders balance, your core, thighs and the feet. Exhale, bowing down all the way to the earth as you lower. Inhale, hands overhead, full body prayer, light it up as you soften. Surrendering to the earth. Exhale, take the hands under your shoulders, press it back to child's pose, softening through. Inhale, lift it up to down dog again for a breath. And then walking the hands back to the feet as you exhale. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, bow it in, drawing through your core and your shoulders again. Inhale, rise to the top, reaching up, lighting with thriving energy. And exhale, hands to your heart with thanks and love, with peace. Feeling into your breath. And let's just stay here for a few more breaths, just noticing all the way through your body to your feet, dropping into the flow of receiving with thriving energy. Once we can fill up our own cups, we can then give this to others with nourishment, with love, with understanding, for all to thrive. Our ultimate wish for all to thrive. Great, let's come to a center of our mat and then move the legs wide, turning the toes out again. Let's practice some Goddess Shakti activational squats once again, like we've done a few times this week. Bending the knees, either your hands can stay on your thighs, your hip area, and just pulsing. You can have your hands wide, activating the shoulders, the arms, pulsing. Maybe pulse the arms as well. Feeling into spanda, expansion energy, this thriving energy, the whole of life of creation. A few more pulses in your own way. You can just stay straight-legged or bent for a few moments if you like to work on either form, either soften or strengthen. Great, this time with arms wide, let's just draw the shoulders back, feel the feet, and make sure that they're equally placed on the mat, so you line them up with the front or the back of the mat. My feet look a bit like they're wonky there, so I just wanted to check. As you exhale, draw the elbows into center, draw lower belly in, and inhale, lift the heart, looking up again. Twice more, exhale, elbows in, and inhale, lifting up. Once more, feeling into the strength, your willpower, your empowerment. Inhale, lift it up. Let's sweep one arm up and one arm down as you straighten the legs, and then come back to that midpoint with elbows and knees bent. Sweeping one arm up and over in the arch, and pulsing as you feel again in your own rhythm. You can do this slower or quicker, whatever feels great. And if you want to just stay in the stretch more and just enjoy that, you're welcome to. We're going to do that in a moment anyway. So this time, let's stay over to one side, stretching through. And then let's take this top arm and move it to the opposite leg and then circle it round. Moving your feet in your own way as you circle. Maybe they turn and move with the circle, whatever feels great. And 5 times round, this one arm stretching out. And perhaps as you reach the hand towards the floor of that opposite foot, you just stay there for a moment and lift the other arm up into a twist, if that feels good for you. One breath here, and then lifting back up to center again. Let's go to the opposite side when you're ready, circling this other arm around to opposite leg, turning the feet in your own way, exploring, noticing and feeling in from the foot, your leg alignment, your hip, your shoulder, and how the whole body has this tensegrity, it's called, moving as one together. One more breath. And maybe as you breathe for another breath, you take the hand down, lift the opposite arm up and come into a twist form, softening through as well as feeling the strength. Inhale, coming up to center. Let's take our hands to our hips, move the feet parallel, big toes slightly in towards the center and keep them in line again to the side of the mat. With an inhale, lift the heart, soften shoulders back. As you exhale, bend the knees, tilt the hips back for our forward fold. Lengthening through, take the hands forward first of all, slight bend in the knees to hinge the hips backwards. Feel the tilt of your pelvis with your awareness there. And then drawing up through your core slightly, stretch it out to the fingers, pressing the toes down. Feel the inner arches to inner thighs. One more breath for our decompressive spine breath. Great, let's take opposite hand towards opposite foot leg. Maybe you have your hand on a block or a book to help you, and draw the other hand up to the sky again. You can sweep this hand around the back if you like to twist a bit more, and action your rib cage round into the twist, lifting your heart. Let's go to the other side, opposite hand to foot. Reach the other hand up to the sky and sweeping that round to the back. Draw the top shoulder up and back if you have the arms sweeping round the back. Lifting your heart, your gaze. Great, let's turn to our right foot. Take the hands down to the ground. Wriggle your left foot back to the back of the mat for a low high lunge with the back knee lifted. Maybe you just pulse forward and back a little bit, pulsing, thriving energy. And then taking the hands just inside that right foot, firm the left heel down to the ground, Bend the right knee so it's stacked over the right ankle and it's not too forward. You're not overstretching the inner thigh, but feeling into the length of the legs. And just stay for a moment, please. Let's walk our hands back to center, turning the feet parallel again. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold in for a moment, drawing up through your shoulders, away from your ears again, drawing up through your core. Let's turn to the left foot now, turning that left foot straight, right ankle lifts off the ground, the heels lifted, hands to square the foot for our dragon lunge on this side. And then taking the hands inside that left foot at a diagonal slightly, the right heel lowering down to the ground. Bend this left knee over the heel again. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Stabilizing, strengthening our hips, our pelvis, our legs, our foundation. Coming back to center with both hands. Let's heel toe the feet in towards each other. Practice squat malasana. Toes turned out diagonal, or your feet can be straight and parallel if you can squat like that. Heels lifted for one moment, for a breath, squatting down, feeling into both hips together, equalized and lengthened through your spine. Softening shoulders, jaw and face. You can have a prop to help you, of course, as well. Well done, you get to sit down after this. Exhale, lowering all the way down to the ground. Let's take our soles of the feet together again. Draw the heels in, have a little shuffle so the hips, the thighs, the glutes are equal to the ground. And let's practice full Baddha Konasana. Maybe you are massaging your thumbs to the inner thighs and to the inner arches, to all of the organs of your body that coincides with reflexology, acupressure, Chinese, meridian points, and all of the organs coincide with the feet and the soles of the feet. So let's give them a good massage, the balls of your feet, for your heart and your lungs, through the inner arches with all the organs as well, the heart and the lungs, the liver, spleen, all the lower organs, the digestion. Your inner arches also tie with the spine and the heels, around the heels, the sacrum, the pelvis and the lower organs. And the toes with your senses, and the big toe in the center, your pituitary gland for intuition. And as you massage through the whole of the soles of the feet, trying to find any points that are sensitive and spend a bit more time there. And then let's take our thumbs, just 3 fingers up into the inner ankle seam of the leg, 3 finger widths about. Normally you'll find a sensitive point. It can be a bit closer to the ankle or further away, but sensitive point where you can feel the pressure more, and massage in circles there for a few moments. And this is our battery line for our blood, great for rejuvenation, thriving energy. And our big toe is the meridian line of our liver. So the big toe and the inner seam of the leg to the inner thighs, the inner pelvis, up through the body, through both sides of the body, up to the lungs, and then up through both sides of the face to the eyes. The liver line moves through you. And the liver, as you know, connects to your eyes, how we see our world, how we see ourselves. It's really important to be in our appreciation, our gratitude of thriving energy. Our liver also can be broken down to the word live, aliva, liver, aliva. So the more that you live alive, the more your organs and your body will help as well. Balancing, or one more breath here. And then maybe you're folding forwards for 3 breaths and softening as you fold. Or perhaps you're taking your hands backwards for 3 breaths and the hands back behind you. Have a different stretch through the inner thighs, your torso as you soften your shoulders back. One more breath with an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to soften. And then inhale, coming up to center. Let's carefully draw the knees in. And we'll take our feet to the ground, hip distance apart. Just wrap your arms around your feet and feel into the inner pelvis. With your feet and your knees a little bit apart, so they're hip distance apart, just try to activate the thigh bones at the top of the thigh bones, hugging in towards each other. So you're activating the muscles, the outer and inner thighs as you hug in, noticing this sensation, this activation of strength for your pelvis, your legs. Okay, let's move with a reverse tabletop now. We've got a few options. Maybe your hands are behind you if you want to practice tabletop, with the fingers facing your hips, and move them as far behind you as your feet are in front of your hips. The same distance, hands away from the hips as the feet. Or you can turn the fingers to the sides of the mat or to the other direction so they're facing away from you. Whatever is comfiest for you and feels the most natural. And just stay like this and not lift up if it's a bit hard for you to lift up. If it's nice and enjoying for you to lift, feel into the legs really working. Equalize both feet, pressing all the toes down. Draw up through your inner arches, your leg line, your glutes. Looking up, maybe you tilt the head backwards so you have this long parallel line of your spine to the earth. Engage the glutes a bit more, feel your shoulders. And then we can lower down slowly. Maybe you drop the hips completely to the ground and have a rest. Or if you're feeling quite strong today, you can move the hips back in between the forearms and the hands and play with a bit of hover. Then we take the feet down to the ground again, lift the glutes, lift up into our reverse tabletop bridge form. And again, either you rest and just enjoy a seated posture. You can forward fold with the legs straight if you want to, or lift the hips off the ground. Feel that hovering with your strength. And one more time for a reverse tabletop or a forward fold if you prefer, your choice. Looking up, feel the hands and the feet equal, pressing to the ground. And then exhale, lowering down or trying that hover once more as you take the hips back, the feet forward, and flexing the feet. Let's lower down and wiggle out the legs, have a pat down, flexing the feet. We'll end with forward fold, Paschimottanasana, west facing sunset pose. Flexing the toes and spreading them to the sides, moving any glute flesh to the sides, lengthening through your spine, softening your shoulders. With an inhale, reach the hands up overhead, please. As you exhale, hover halfway, bowing in, drop through lower belly, looking forwards beyond the feet, reaching forwards. Inhale here, lengthening, and exhale, hands to the sides or to your feet. You can take first 2 fingers and thumbs to your big toes if that's available to you, or hold onto a strap or a scarf as well, of course. Notice the toes and lengthen your gaze forward so it's parallel to the ground and with soft drishti gaze. Soften your shoulders as you bend your elbows. It helps to soften the shoulders back a bit and lift your heart through. With an inhale to lengthen forwards and an exhale to fold in. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. Feeling this energy of renewal, close to the earth, allowing yourself to grow with change, with thriving energy, returning with your breath again and again. Let's take 2 more breaths here with an inhale to lengthen And then exhale to soften. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to soften. Inhale, lifting up to the top, reaching hands up. And exhale, hands to the sides. It's 11 o'clock now, so if you need to go, I understand, I'm sorry. And try to have a few minutes of relaxation before you start your day. Trying to just soak it all in before you get busy again. It's really important to have a pause. But let's start to lie down now, and we can engage our core a little bit with this forward fold to lying down action as we roll down backwards through our spine and engage our core. You've got a chance to lift up again and practice forward fold or stay lying down. With an inhale, reach the hands overhead, activate the legs, spreading the toes. Exhale, start to roll through the spine. If it feels a bit too hard for you to lower with straight legs, bend your knees and place the feet flat on the ground. So it's best for you. Rolling all the way down as you let go to the ground. Reach the hands overhead. You can either stay down and just relax, enjoying a breath and a few stretches, hugging the knees in, or we start to lift all the way back up again, as if we're being pulled up by an imaginary golden thread. Inhale to reach the hands up overhead. Exhale to lower all the way back down again, using your core, keeping the feet flexed and equal. Inhale to reach the hands overhead again. And exhale one more time, or staying down, enjoying your stretch on your back. As you draw up to a seated position, lift the hands up overhead. And exhale, last time as you lower down through your core, drawing lower belly in, rolling through the spine, softening shoulders and face. With an inhale, reach the hands overhead. We can circle our wrists and heel toe our feet a few times. And then maybe you take your hands to the sides of you, palms facing down, heels on the ground, and you start to move the toes forward and back to create this wriggle, this ripple, this chain-like wave through the body. Noticing the heels and this bobbing up through the legs, the knees, the hips. Recalibrating the spine, like it's shaking up through the whole of you. Nice shimmy and shake on the ground. And then in your own way, maybe you can shake your arms and legs over your body. Maybe you circle your wrists and your ankles again one way, and then the other. And if there's any other stretch you'd like to take or inversion, you're really welcome to, of course. And as we choose to surrender into relaxation, into Shavasana, let's soften fully and let everything go to the earth. And thanks for all the elements. And thanks for our body, our heart and our mind. As you choose your position, softening the whole of your body, softening into stillness, and seeing the steadiness and ease is flowing through you. Sensing the stream of abundance, golden light shimmering through you. And acknowledging your mission statement, your I am presence, your soul sovereignty. Maybe repeating your heart's passion a few times to yourself and sending this out to the world with a sentence of celebration. You read again from Tasha Silver's Change Me Prayers. This prayer for ease. Oh, beloved, change me into one who knows how to relax completely, sleep deeply, and receive all the blessings of every moment as they arrive. Change me into one who deeply trusts the divine plan. May I feel gratitude and ease every day. May I remain centered in all conditions, even those which are volatile or difficult. Hold me in my center. I relax in calm peace, knowing all is in perfect divine order. Change me into one who trusts your process and knows I am being guided to the perfect resolution of all seeming dilemmas. The divinely right solutions are already selected and being born. I can breathe, relax, receive, and be guided. I am safe. All is well. As you start to wake in your own time, thanking your body, your heart, and your mind. And taking a stretch through in your own way. Invite this thriving energy again, thriving through your day, through your weekend, through your month, the new year. And thriving in rest, in recharging, in movement. Thriving with whatever your truth is, your choice, with love and peace. As you come to your side for a few breaths, or you can press up to seated when you're welcome, when you're ready. You take your hands to your heart. When we arrive in seated, please, and soften shoulders, softening jaw, softening the backs of your eyes. And seeing your own thriving energy. As you press your palms together with this balance you've created, bowing to your heart, as we bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for this week. It's been really lovely seeing you all. It's been a nice surprise that you joined, and we all got to do this every morning together. Really lovely. Thank you so much. If you want to come next week, you're really welcome to, of course. I'm going to be sharing about the 5 values, which are the winds of our breath, of energy within us. And each day we'll be focusing on a different value, which means wind. And as we breathe through together, we'll be practicing meditation and movement again, and it'll be slightly different sequences, but also some similar as well, and be moving with different parts of our body with awareness with the 5 winds, the values. So otherwise, if you're busy and you're doing something else, and whatever you do for the next month, year, I wish you so much joy and love and thriving energy for you all. And I hope to see you in some form soon, in Facebook or in real life and connection, hopefully very soon as well. Lots of love to you all. Bye. And I'll send you an email with all the 5 links of the classes. Lots of love. Thank you so much, everyone. Mwah. I love you. Bye. Bye, Chrissy. Lots of love.